This is John from Planes, Trains, and Comic Books. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are doing a quick recap of episodes 1 through 3 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I'm ready to talk about it, so let's get right into it. And before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment, let us know what you're liking on the channel. Let us know what kind of things you'd like maybe for us to review in the future as well. Let's get into it. So I figure what we'll do is I'm going to do some non-spoilery stuff first, just in case you're waiting for more. I know some people like to watch the whole series when they come out. So we'll do a little bit of non-spoiler, and I'll give you a big spoiler warning when we get into them. It looks amazing. I know they shot a lot on the volume, the same thing that they're using with The Mandalorian. But then I know they have some other practical sets they use, and then obviously I'm sure locations in California that maybe you can tell once or twice. But in general, it looks fantastic. I feel totally immersed back into the world. It just works perfectly. I love it. Everybody, I think their acting is pretty superb and spot on. There's very minor little things that I would say here and there, but overall, I think everybody's doing an amazing job. In particular, man, Ewan McGregor just brings it all back to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he is just you can see where Obi-Wan's mind is and all the things that he's going through, and McGregor's doing a really, really good job of showing where Obi-Wan Kenobi is mentally right now. Man, it's also particularly Moses Ingram, who plays the third sister, also known as Reva in this. She is badass. She very much is like you don't quite know what her true intentions are. She's definitely one of the most mysterious of all of the Inquisitors, and she definitely is a little ragey and a little reckless, and I love it, and I'm really interested to see what her full arc is going to be with this. So with that said, now we're going to get into spoilers, some spoiler warnings. Okay, so in particular, again, so with Reva, she is incredibly reckless, and I love it. Starting off right away, I mean, the way she threatens townspeople, she threatens Owen. She pulls out her lightsaber, I think, more than any other character so far, and is like, holding it up. She cut off one of the people on Tatooine their hands. There was one of the Jedi they were following it early on, and she like started to like burn it into his skin a little bit, and the Grand Inquisitor had to like stop her, I guess, from probably killing him. They kind of hint like maybe she wants to be Grand Inquisitor, but I feel like there's probably more than that. And speaking of the Grand Inquisitor, a very big fan of this character. He shows up in Star Wars Rebels, the animated series. If you guys haven't seen that and Clone Wars, 100% worth checking out. He used to be a Jedi Temple guard at the Jedi Temple. I believe it was Sidious who pulled him over to the dark side. All the Inquisitors were at one time Jedi. He's definitely the most powerful, and he's definitely creepiest. And I like a lot of the things that they show with his character. He felt very true to the animated series. One of the things people said that they didn't like that his eyes weren't yellow. Well, they get yellow when he's getting angry and kind of like really feeling the dark side. And I really appreciated that. I think Anakin did the same thing. You've seen that a lot, but I don't think their eyes don't always stay that way for the most part anyway. But it was cool. I really enjoy the Grand Inquisitor. He does get stabbed by Reva. She stabs him in the abdomen because they've had some back and forth about Obi-Wan trying to find him on Tatooine. When they're confronting him, they have like a back and forth kind of moment, and she ends up stabbing him. But I don't think he's dead. They kind of go out of their way to never say specifically like he is dead. Reva talks to Vader at one point in his castle on Mustafar, which was amazing. She says, Obi-Wan, he will pay for what he did to the Grand Inquisitor, and they kind of cut her off a little bit there. She doesn't finish her sentences, and we see him on the ground, but it's Star Wars and people survive all the time, so I don't think he's dead. So yeah, we see Obi-Wan on Tatooine, and he's watching over Luke. And I like that we get a little bit of that, and we get a little bit of, him and Owen's relationship. Owen is definitely like, we don't want you training him. We get a little bit of the conflict there, but it's not for long because he gets called by Jimmy Smits, Bail Organa. That was nice to see him come back, and we see a little Leia Organa in this. And that was a really cool surprise. I didn't know that she was going to be in this, and props to the actress. She is fantastic. She's exactly what I expect Leia was probably have been as a child. She's very, well, what she is as a child. She is sassy. She's intelligent. She's very much showing that she's well above her age in the way that she speaks and the way she's able to read people. And I don't know if they hint a little at maybe she has a little bit of the force that she's feeling how she reads people. But either way, I love it. There's a little like chase scene that was a little silly, but nothing in the all anything that is negative is all very small things. Nothing takes away from the show. They capture little Leia. We got to mention she got a little droid. It's Lola. It's nicknamed Lola, and it's just like a little hover disc kind of droid, and it is adorable. Always knocking it out of the park with new droids and creatures. With Obi-Wan, you kind of really get to see his PTSD with this, because he's having nightmares about Anakin still. He didn't know that Anakin was alive until Reva mentions it. And this was probably of my confusions, the biggest one is that so Reva knows Darth Vader's Anakin, and we don't know how that's possible because there's only a few people that knew that in particular. But we'll give it a pass. If she was at the temple, I mean, I'm sure they'll explain that. And then Obi-Wan, when she says that's right, Anakin is alive, Vader sent me an Anakin and Vader the same, which I feel like he saw that Vader, that was his name in the recording when he saw the Jedi holograms of Anakin attacking the temple back in the day. But I know he did leave Anakin on Mustafar to die after cutting off his arms and legs and stuff. I'm sure there's a logical reason as far as why he wouldn't have realized that Anakin survived that or heard that Vader was around in the galaxy. But just quick, last couple things. Kumail, his fake Jedi character was fun and a good addition. All the fun little bounty hunters that get called to find Obi-Wan. There's like a dinosaur bounty hunter. I think I've seen like some of those characters in the comics before. One of the same droids that Forlom, one of the bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back, was in this. So I love all the little connective tissues and when they do little Easter egg things like that. Obi-Wan kind of struggling to use his force powers. It was good. I like that they went that route again. He's been in hiding. He's been cutting himself off from the force for the most part. He has tried to contact Qui-Gon here and there. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn, which they're milking for all it's worth because he's called for him at least once every episode and he hasn't shown. So that's going to be fantastic when that happens, I'm sure. The last episode, there's one little character. His name is Freck. He's like a mole person. I enjoyed that. He was a star-nosed mole with the little tendrils on the end of his nose. And that was a fun thing. But then the biggest thing we got to talk about is Vader coming back. And oh my gosh, they use Vader sparingly so far. And when they use him, it is amazing. So they show Anakin in the back to take at one point, and then it drains and it gets all the Vader pieces put on him, and it's definitely Hayden Christensen. That's cool. Oh, and then you do get like Anakin's ghost kind of haunting Obi-Wan on the planet, so that was kind of neat to see it once a little bit too, which is kind of like a vision Obi-Wan was having. When Vader comes to the planet that Obi-Wan and Leia are on, it's kind of been locked down because they know he's there. Vader goes personally. Leia is sent off with some help, so Obi-Wan's going to stay and confront Vader supposedly. So he's watching and trying to figure out I guess how he's going to do this. And Vader is trying to draw him out, and he is literally torturing and killing people in town. And it is so terrifying and creepy. He's literally force pulling people out of houses and choking them. He breaks some kid's neck with the force. It is fantastic. It is Vader being absolutely terrifying and showing again why he's like one of the best villains of all time. They finally have a little bit of a rematch. It's definitely obviously not the big one we're going to get. I think it's showing that Obi-Wan's going to have to step up. He's having PTSD from realizing that Anakin's alive. The scene is very much kind of homage to Empire Strikes Back. It's in a lot of darkness. Vader surprises him. There's some smoke with some electronics that get cut, and Vader's the aggressor, and Obi-Wan is kind of just trying to draw Vader away enough, and then I assume he's going to try to get away because he definitely is not prepared for this. Vader is getting the upper hand the entire time, which you would kind of expect, but also, Obi-Wan was a great Jedi, but again, he's been in hiding, so he hasn't been using his powers really, and he's got this PTSD he's got to work through. And Vader takes advantage of it, and Vader kicks the crap out of him. And Vader has him at one point and is force choking him, holding him up. And then Vader knocks over this, I guess this mining ore, and then puts his lightsaber down on the ground and lights this field on fire with the ore, and then takes Obi-Wan and starts dragging him through it, and is like, this is what you've made me, and like your suffering has only begun. He does get a quick save from the people that were helping Leia escape as well, so he's able to get pulled away from that. But yeah, I mean, the scenes with Vader were fantastic, with the flames showing up, the uplighting on his mask and stuff, and having James Earl Jones back as the voice, obviously just sounding fantastic. I loved it. Everything about this show has been fantastic so far. Minor things I've got questions on, but I don't worry about it until the end. Hopefully they answer those things. But for the most part, we're going to wait to see how things turn out. We got 3 episodes left. We'll probably do 1 or 2 more of these. We'll either combine or we'll do one at the end. But thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Check out our Patreon if you'd like to support us. We also have our Instagram, Twitter, and our TikTok is up as well. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next one.